What's up, punks? Today we're looking at these guys that got heavy sentences for a bit of argy-bargy at the Epping hotel, and the guy that they were actually protesting about got less of a sentence than they did. Can you believe it? Oh yeah, we can.
And that is two-tier justice. The perception of two-tier justice has taken hold very strongly in this country. And just have a look at these pictures of the people involved with the Epping protests and indeed the perpetrator. Now, these three men who appear before you, they did, and this is true, they pushed, kicked, and in some cases punched police officers during protests outside the Bell Hotel.
Well, I read the police report and it just said that they punched the shields and kicked the shields. One of them did, I don't know who it was.
They were found guilty of serious public disorder. One of them has been jailed for 2 years and 4 months, one of them for 2 years and 2 months, and one of them for 1 year and 10 months.
Can you believe that? Those sentences, absolutely crazy. I mean, they were stupid what they did. And as soon as you start messing around with the police and throwing stuff at them and kicking their shields or whatever, you've lost the battle. That's the sort of thing that the left do. Leave it to the left to do that. We shouldn't be doing that. As soon as you do it, you've lost. But the sentences are ridiculous, though.
Then what about the man, the illegal immigrant, who's now claiming asylum? He assaulted a 14-year-old girl. What did he get? 1 year. 1 year. People that went to protest and, yes, behaved badly have prison sentences 2.5 times bigger than the person that caused the original problem by and I repeat, by committing a sexual assault on a 14-year-old girl. This is two-tier justice. And
how do you get a 12-month sentence for SA? I don't get it. How is that even possible? That should be like a 5-year sentence minimum. And the problem you've got is that the law says, from what I remember, is that if you serve a sentence for less than 12 months and you're an illegal immigrant, you can't be deported. So it's ironic that he gets a 12-month sentence. If he got anything over, he could have served his sentence and then been deported. But he won't. He's going to be released back on the street.
You know, the prisons are in crisis.
I wonder why the prison system's in a crisis.
The fact that could have led to many, many years in prison. Well, there's several attacks.
But it hasn't.
But it hasn't. But the fact that
the question we should be asking is, why hasn't it? Is there some reason why? I don't get it. Are these judges like, you know, left-wing judges that just think, oh no, we can't do that, it's racist? I don't get it.
These three men attacked police officers is very, very serious. And again, they pled guilty.
They had no choice but to plead guilty, because if they didn't, they were going to get sentences over 3.5 years. So that's the reason why they pled guilty. They knew there was no way out.
No, I'm not saying it's not serious. I'm saying that for a fair-minded observer, somebody who turns up at a protest and it gets out of control and they behave badly, yes, but how do they get a sentence 2.5 times?
Because they're wanting to take the law into their own hands.
I don't buy that.
They weren't taking the law into their own hands. They just went over the top. That's what. If you'd gone back, like for example, at a football game when it kicked off, that sort of stuff went on all the time. I don't remember anyone getting 2.5-year sentences. It was a 6-month sentence at most for the lot of them. Yes, they had to be sorted out, but whatever. 2.5 years and 2 years, 2 months, and I think the other one was nearly 2 years. It's absolutely insanity. They're so unfair. And those sentences have been juiced up specifically for this reason. If it was any other reason, there's no way you'd get those sentences. It's purely based because of the protests at the hotel.
Sorry, Joe, I just don't buy that. It just looks wrong.
Yeah, no, well, no, the issue here is that the offender was not treated more harshly.
That could be 14 years.
Well, and so this is the point. So park these cases to one side.
Yeah.
It's a offender who's got off with such light sentence. That's a big problem, and that's why reviewing the sentencing council, getting rid of it, in my view, which is what Rob Jenrick wants to do, that's an excellent way forward. And actually, by the way, I'd go further. I would say get rid of the Supreme Court too.
The Supreme Court is good as long as it's ran by the right people. If it's ran by a load of leftists, then no, it's not any good. It needs to be run by the right people. Once you scrap that, then you're sort of on a slippery slope.
But if you get to the point where politicians go, oh, I don't like that judge, you are in danger of going down Trump territory.
It's not that he doesn't like the judges, it's that they're bent and they're leftist judges. That's what he doesn't like. He wants judges that are fair. There's nothing wrong with that. This is what most of this is all about. People want fairness. They don't want it to be left. They don't want it to be right. They just want fairness.
America openly politicises
Yes, I know,
judges, but we've never done that.
But even there, they can't sack them, and that's the same here. It's about the appointment of judges.
Yes.
It's about making sure that there's not the divergence that we've had over the last 25 years, 30 years.
But if you only
since,
appoint judges who
Tony Blair
happen
came
to
in.
agree with your politics.
No, it's about making sure that people are independent.
Basically, if you have a look at what goes on in America, it always goes on here as well. Problem is now, because lawfare has been used in America, it's now creeping in here as well. And this is exactly what we don't want.
And what we've seen is a baking in of activist judges since the 2003.
Yeah, I think the evidence for that.
Yeah, activist judges, that's sort of the word I was looking for. That's exactly what we don't want. If we've got activist judges, we are in deep trouble, because the majority of the activists are left-wing loonies.
It's a subject we'll come back to, but there's no doubt many of you at home, many of you listening to this, believe we're living in two-tier Britain. I certainly do. And if we don't solve that, then we're going to see more bad behaviour. And that's not what we want.
Yeah, that's definitely right what he's saying there. I don't know if this is what I would call two-tier, because they're two completely different cases. And really, they should be put together, because the reason that they were protesting is because of that guy. That's what makes it insane. So they actually end up getting more than that guy for what I would call minor scuffles. You know, I don't know the ins and outs, but from what I've read, it wasn't anything heavy. There were, you know, it didn't bottle any coppers. No one got hurt. It was just like bad behaviour. The world's going insane. I just don't know what else to say. It's insanity. Everything is just crazy. It's like clown world. You tell me what you think. If you want to hear more garbage from me, hit the subscribe.